How's it going, guys? Bring your platoon here, and welcome back to another great game in World of Tanks Xbox One Edition. Today, I will be both playing and three marking the Churchill 1, a Tier 5 UK heavy tank, and this thing is probably one of the most fun Tier 5s I've ever played, with the exception that you don't use the top package for the gun, and instead opt for the Tier 5 75mm, or whatever the hell it's called, that has a fire rate of 20 rounds per minute. Why? You fire faster, your DPM increases by 300 to 400 points, somewhere around there, and even though you have to shoot premium a majority of the time, especially when you're not top tier, it's still worth it. 165 premium APCR pen is very decent in Tier 5. Yeah, it could be better. You could be shooting the Tier 6 gun that has 202 premium pen, I think. I might be wrong on that, but sure. Your alpha, instead of 130 for the top package, will be 110 per penetration with the quote-unquote better gun, in my opinion, despite the fact that it has dispersion values of 0.42 and an aim time of 1.9, which is hilariously great, besides the inaccuracy. It doesn't feel like it has accuracy of that bad. You will see me hit a majority of shots in this tank despite that dispersion value, and it's just hilarious. I have on the coated optics to help out with view range a little bit because this thing only does have 350 meters of view range, but that's to be expected in lower tiers. It doesn't help out much, I will admit, but when you're going for marks, it always helps to get more spotting damage, so that's what I end up doing. Or in some games. Probably not this one. But as you can see, with this Tier 5 gun, I'm able to mow down pretty much whatever comes across my way, except with the trade-off of having no armor. It's not really a trade-off. You're not going to have any armor regardless, but your front plate, your lower plate, and your turret front is essentially 90mm all around, with a few exceptions in the upper plate. But besides that, the roof of the tank, including your turret and chassis, is only 20mm thick, so they can also overmatch the turret if they're not going to shoot at you frontally, instead on top of you with like an arty or other caliber guns. Like Tier 4s can pen that. Tier 3s probably can pen that, no problem, depending on what caliber of gun they're using. But yeah, it's pretty bad. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's pretty bad. But the gun, oh god, it's hilarious. And as you can tell, this tank is not known for its speed either. You get a measly 25 kilometers an hour speed, I believe. I'm not looking at anything right now. Oh, sorry. It almost reached 28 there. But I think it's 25 to 28 kilometers. Yep, like 28 is your top speed, but you'll only ever reach it on going down hills. But, funny thing about this line, after this, you actually get nerfed to only doing 20 kilometers an hour for your top speed, and that is like ass. That's like T95 levels of slow, and when your alpha isn't great, excuse me for 1 second. Don't worry, it's nothing. When your alpha isn't that impressive, like 110 or 130 or 140, which is essentially what I just explained to you was the Tier 6 and the Tier 7 alpha, it's not great. I will warn you, it's not great. But once you get to that Carnarvon, oh, you gain armor, you gain view range, 400 meters view range, or 380, one of those two. Either of them are great. And just DPM, you get a great gun, 280 damage per hit with the top package, and you get 10 degrees of gun depression. Like, you can go against Tier 10s, and they'll have trouble penning you unless they're shooting premiums. It's hilarious, haul down. But, until then, you're kind of stuck in this situation of, you have a decent gun, you got good pen, the only thing holding this thing back and being competitive is well, more armor would be nice, and flat angles suck, because all people have to do is load premium against you to win, even when you're side scraping. The Black Prince kind of takes care of that a lot more than the Tier 6, just because it gets an amazing turret. But moving on to this gameplay, you saw me take down that OI experimental, no problem. We're going to make our way to his other friend. Why do I have the premium rounds loaded? Because you're going to want to shoot them. 120 pen is nice, but when you have a 50-50 shot at penning the front of a T1 Heavy, which is the same tier as you, or, well, maybe it's a little bit less of a chance to bounce, but still, 70% is worse than 100% chance to pen, and even with premium pen, you're going to struggle against tier 6s. Some of them you will still struggle to pen frontally. So it sucks, but you fire every 2.5 seconds. This thing's fucking hilarious. I love it. As long as you can get it to the battle, you're good to go. If you get spotting damage, great, but honestly, the coded optics that I slap on this thing is just so I can fucking see targets when they're firing at me. Because without it, you can't see a damn thing. It's not nearly as bad as the KV-220 or the Churchill 3, but 20 meters less view range, and it would be. So, yeah, don't want to do that. Don't want to play this without coded optics. I think that would be the wrong choice. I also have a gun rammer on, as well as, I think, vents. I should have vents on with the gun rammer, but I think I actually opted for the gun lane drive with the gun rammer, just to speed up the aiming even further, to get shots out quicker, because again, this thing doesn't have the greatest armor, and once people start shooting you, your health goes down fairly quickly. In addition to that, we don't have a good HP pool like PC does. We actually got nerfed like 160 HP or something compared to the PC version of this tank. But that's the 3-marking game. Just gonna show you the end stats of the team here shortly. I should probably just edit this so it's not as long as I think it is, but it's fine. It'll go right to the 3-marking of the tank, and you'll see it in all its glory. But yeah, this is the games I've been having. Like, why... Is there bots in the game? Because it feels like there is. People just don't know how to fire their guns accurately or drive their tanks to key positions and just do well, I guess. I don't know. I'm really tired. It's 1:35 a.m., so apologies for the salt. But a lot of you love that, so you're welcome. If you do. I did manage to 3-mark this thing in 64 battles. Pretty cool. I don't know if that's worth bragging about, but there it is for all to see. And then here's the 3-mark for the tank in all its glory. Very beautiful. This was a great grind. As soon as I started using that other gun, this tank became a hell of a lot easier to play and just to do well in. You just, again, gotta get to the battle. Be aggressive, but have a place to hide so you can trade damage effectively if you have to. And just keep your gun hot and keep firing. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you next time.